Hello and welcome back. I've got the RAM expansion board here for the Amiga, and the white vinegar here looks like some sort of weird science experiment, doesn't it? It was pretty corroded, as you can see here in the photos I took, before I soaked it in the white vinegar there. Anyway, let's take a look here. You can see the vinegar's pretty cloudy. It's pretty murky looking, bits and pieces floating around in it. So let's have a look and see whether it's cleaned up. Yeah, still a little bit crusty looking, isn't it? Wonder if I can give that a wee clean off there with a toothbrush or a stiff bristled brush there. Might help it. And I think I should lift these chips here. That just might help with the drying process. I've removed the battery here. Yeah, you can see this main trace here is looking a little bit dodgy. I'll buzz that out with the multimeter. I'm sure it's okay for now, but I wouldn't trust it in the long run. I'll give it a wee scrub. See how we go there. Got my toothbrush. Don't worry, it's not my everyday toothbrush. I don't clean my teeth with it. It's starting to look a little bit better already. I really just want to get it to the point where it's safe to try out on the machine. I don't think I need the battery. That's just for the real-time clock, as far as I understand. But hopefully these traces here have survived. But yeah, I don't want to really go plugging it in with it looking completely crusty like this here. Toothbrush is getting a bit dirty on it. Certainly removing some of the leftover corrosion. So I'll remove these chips here. There's nothing underneath those chips, so nice and easy to remove. Just with a little flat bladed screwdriver there. That won't do any damage. Yeah, this chip's looking a little bit crusty, and it's a bit harder to get out than the others. There we go. A little bit of residue down in the slot there as well. It's an Alpha Data brand. Amiga 600 1 meg RAM card. Sockets aren't looking too bad, maybe a little bit crusty down this end here. These two pins here don't look too flash. There's not much spring in those. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they're broken. So I think it would probably be a good idea to replace this socket. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, whether that will make contact or not. These two sockets I think need replacing. I'll go ahead and give this a good rinse off with water, and along with the chips, and give it a good dry out with a compressor, and we'll see if it works in the machine. I know the machine works without this card in it. Now I've removed the two dodgy looking sockets there, and the top right hand pin on both of these looked pretty bad, and you can see the remnants of the socket. I find it a little bit easier to actually get in with a rather than having to desolder the socket entirely. I find it easier to break them up, and that way you can get each individual pin out. Just get the soldering iron on the back of each individual pin and just pull the pin, rather than going through the rigmarole of using a solder sucker to pull all the solder out of all of these connections here, And you know, if you want to remove the socket complete, or the chip, if you're taking a chip out, you need to use a solder sucker really, and remove the solder from all of the pins and free all of the pins up before you try and remove the chip. There's no good having one or two pins, or one pin's probably okay to still be attached, but any more than one and it gets awkward, you can stress the chip when you're trying to remove it. You know, stress the vias and the pads and things like that. So, you know, so I just find it a bit easier to get in there with, you know, these really good sharp side cutters. You know, these are ultra sharp. Yeah, basically what I do is I just clip away, you know, like I'll clip that down there to sort of separate those two halves in there, and then just clip away in between each of the legs there, the plastic, get rid of the plastic as much as I can anyway, and it kind of separates each pin and you can deal with each one individually. It's a lot easier than desoldering, you know, the whole part complete, but you do end up with all these little bits and pieces. It's a bit messy, but anyway, I've had a very, very gentle sort of scratch away at the solder mask on here, just to sort of expose some of the corrosion there, and you can see that, you know, it's looking a little bit sort of oxidized, but not looking too bad. And so, you know, these traces here I was concerned about, but they actually look okay. Have a close look. I've buzzed them out. They seem to be connected, at least, you know, across the badly corroded sections there. And I was going to just apply nail polish over them, just to stop them from oxidizing further. And I can't find my green nail polish that I have for doing this, so I've raided my daughter's nail polish collection, and I've just come up with this. It's a pretty ugly colour, but it should do the trick. And I just wanted to, before I put the new sockets on here, I just wanted to cover those traces there. Just very, you know, it's not pretty, but it's all I've got at the moment to protect these traces here. It will do in the meantime. I can always remove it later with a bit of nail polish remover and do it in a sort of more appropriate colour, maybe a green. So I'll just tidy those up. I'll go ahead and solder in the new chip sockets there, and, you know, repopulate the sockets here with the RAM, and then I think it's ready for testing. It came up quite nicely, given it a good clean on the back here. This was looking a little bit crusty as well, but it's cleaned up reasonably well. Okay, there's the sockets reinstalled there, two new sockets. I'll clean off that flux there. I should probably give that a little coating of nail polish there. I'm quite keen to test this out, so I'll do that later, the nail polish there. Anyway, let's repopulate these chips here. Okay, looking good. Now time for the big test. Okay, I haven't got the RAM installed yet, but the machine's on, and if we take a look at how much RAM we've got here, we've got 522,344 there. So hopefully when I install the RAM card, we should have another megabyte of RAM on top of that. Okay, moment of truth here. Got the RAM card installed. We've got power light, disc light, and no video signal. So no, we've got no activity there at all. So I'm just going to quickly turn that off just in case that is doing some damage there. I'll take the card back out again and see whether everything's fine there, hopefully. Oh, did I kill the machine? I think I killed it. I think this killed the A600. Oh no, that's no good. Is it just the drive not spinning? Oh dear. Oh dear. Naughty RAM card. So I'm not too sure what's changed. I tried several times before to get this machine to boot, and I've been out for quite some time. I've been away for a few hours, and I came back and I thought I'd just try again. So what was going through my mind when I was out and about was that maybe the power supply failed. Anyway, I tried it again and it wouldn't boot, and then I power cycled the machine and it worked with the RAM card installed. Is it going to work now? Yes, it is. Okay, so I thought that I'd actually killed the machine by putting the RAM card in that's potentially faulty in some way, but here we have proof that it's all up and running. So I was very pleased to see that. We have 1569096, so basically 1.5 megabytes of RAM all up and running now, which is very pleasing, because I was sure I'd killed the machine just by putting in potentially faulty RAM card there, but everything seems to be up and running there now. So that's an awesome result. I've got a working Amiga 600HD and a 1 meg RAM card. So yeah, great result. I'm going to go ahead and take the electronics, or the motherboard and the floppy drive out of this machine and give this case a really good scrub and make it look a lot nicer, give the keyboard a clean. Yeah, so yeah, keep an eye out for another video. I'll probably show just the end result. I won't go through the cleaning process. I've done a video on cleaning keyboards, and in fact I think that's on Amigos Retro Gaming on their channel. It's probably one of my earlier videos over on that channel. So that's about it for this one. Successful result there. Pretty pleased with that, and I'll be putting this machine to good use and put it through its paces. Hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.